My journey into swimming didn't start with dreams of medals or breaking records. Actually, it all began because I failed basic swimming tests. Failed big. I couldn't make it past those basic levels. I was that kid who couldn't keep up in the shallow end of the pool, while everyone else seemed to just glide through the water. That one failure changed my life. When my parents first put me into competitive swimming, I remember standing there on the pool deck watching these kids who looked like they were born in water. They made swimming look effortless, natural. And here I was, struggling to keep myself afloat, trying to mimic their movements, and it felt like anything but natural. But instead of walking away, something inside me clicked. I wanted to understand what made these kids so comfortable in the water and why I wasn't. So, what did I do? After the first few months joining the team, I walked into a world of naturally gifted swimmers, kids who seemed like they were built for the sport. I was surrounded by teammates who knew how to move, how to glide, how to almost dance through the water. Well, I felt like I was fighting it. And every practice, I'd watch them, trying to understand how they made it look so smooth and effortless. It's frustrating. There's this feeling when you're not a natural swimmer to be in this group, always one step behind, always pushing harder to barely keep up. Every race, every practice was just a reminder how I was different. I didn't have that swimmer's grace. My strokes were sloppy, my kicks uncoordinated, and my form, well, let's say it needed a lot of work. But here's the thing, I wasn't going to quit, and neither should you. If I couldn't match their natural speed, I was determined to find another way to compete with them. That's when I became obsessed with technique. I realized if I wanted to keep up, I'd have to swim smarter, not harder. I couldn't rely on sheer talent, so I made up for it by breaking down every little detail of my stroke, every movement, every inch of my reach, my pull, my kick. I became obsessed with finding ways to move more efficiently in the pool. While others could just swim, I was learning to be a student of the water. And let me tell you, once I started focusing on technique, everything changed. It was like I had unlocked this hidden power. My movements weren't perfect, but I could feel the difference. I wasn't fighting the water as much. I was learning to work with it, to glide, to control each stroke. My teammates would be halfway down the pool before I even hit my stride, but I was starting to close that gap. Little by little, I was catching up, not because I got faster, but because I was moving smarter. This journey of being the underdog, the one who had to work twice as hard as just to keep up, shaped me as a swimmer and later as a coach as well. How, when I work with young swimmers, I can spot the ones who feel like I did. Maybe they're not the fastest in the pool to start off with. Maybe they don't feel natural in the water. I know exactly what that feels like, but I also know the secret. Technique can be taught. Talent is great, but technique is powerful. And the power you can unlock for anyone learning technique is unbelievable. To every swimmer out there who feels like they're not built for this, I get it. I've been there. And I'm here to tell you that feeling of struggling doesn't mean you can't be great. It means you're going to have to learn greatness. You don't have to be born fast. You don't have to be a natural. But with the right technique, the right habits, you can become faster, more efficient, and a true competitor. You see, that's why I started the Swim Accelerator. It's not just a program, it's a place for swimmers to go from being okay to unstoppable by mastering those fine details in each of their strokes. I teach swimmers how to swim smarter, to use efficiency to close that gap that talent alone can't bridge. And I've spent years building habits, studying the science of technique, and fine tuning the details that help turn any swimmer, no matter their starting point, into someone with unstoppable potential. And for all the swim parents out there, I want you to know that your swimmer doesn't have to be a natural to succeed. Some of the strongest swimmers I've coached over the years are the ones who've struggled, the ones who had to fight a little bit harder, learn a bit more, and put in just that little bit of extra effort into each and every practice. It's that willingness to learn, to embrace the journey that makes all the difference. Your swimmer doesn't have to be the fastest in the pool right now. What matters is that they have the tools and the support to grow. One of my swimmers, a kid who reminded me so much of myself, came in struggling with confidence, feeling like he would never catch up to his teammates. But with patience, with a focus on technique, he started to unlock his potential. Every small change he made in his stroke, every little tweak was just another stepping stone for him to reach his dream. And when we finally hit that podium, it wasn't just a victory, it was the proof that technique and grit can beat talent alone. So if you or your swimmer have big dreams, but feel like you're swimming against the current, remember that greatness doesn't always come naturally. It can be built, and I want you to build it. Check out the Swim Accelerator by following the link below. When we focus on teaching the techniques, the habits, and the confidence to turn any swimmer into a competitive athlete. No natural talent required, just a desire to learn and improve. If you are one of those people struggling to get better in the water, then hit that like and subscribe button below. Until next time, I will see you in this video right here.